Newscast.
Good evening, I am Tamia Reed in with your VON Major News package for today, Thursday, 11th October 2018. In our lead stories, nationally, St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party names all 8 candidates for next general elections. And St. Kitts and Nevis's passport now world's 26th most powerful. Regionally, death toll from Haiti earthquake rises. Internationally, monster storm Michael mauls U.S. southeast. And in sports, Leeward's Hurricane loses to USA team in Super 50 regional series. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now the national news in detail. Leader of the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party, SKNLP, and the parliamentary opposition, Dr. the Honorable Denzil Douglas, has named the full slate of the party's candidates for the next general election, which is constitutionally due in 2020. The constituencies and candidates are as follows. Constituency number 1, Dr. Jeffrey Hanley. Constituency number 2, Marcella Liebert. Constituency number 3, Conris Maynard. Constituency number 4, H.E. Steve Rensford. Constituency number 5, Ambassador Kenny Douglas. Constituency number 6, Dr. Denzil Douglas. Constituency number 7, Leon Natta. And constituency number 8, Dr. Terence Drew. 2 of the 8 candidates in the persons of Kenny Douglas, constituency number 5, and Leon Natta, constituency number 7, have not been formally introduced as yet. In the last general elections held in February 2015, the SKNLP won 3 seats, the Nevis Reformation Party NRP 1, the People's Labour Party PLP 1, People's Action Movement PAM 4, and Concerned Citizens Movement CCM 2, all of which adds to 11 seats in the National Assembly. Moreover, the Team Unity Coalition, made up of PAM, CCM, and PLP, has 7 of the 11 seats in the National Assembly, while the SKNLP and NRP has the other 4 seats. St. Kitts and Nevis has the 26th most powerful passport in the world for 2018, according to the latest Henley Passport Index compiled by the global citizen and residence advisory firm Henley and Partners. The country's passport jumped 4 spots after ranking 30th in the world in 2017 and now 3rd in the Caribbean, with Barbados being first. Kittitians and Nevisians now enjoy visa-free access to 151 destinations. Last year's 2017 hurricane season forced Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Antigua and Barbuda to revise their citizenship by investment programs in order to boost investments and create hurricane funding relief. According to the stats, St. Lucia showed the largest growth among Caribbean islands. They moved up 5 spots to 36th place in 2017 to 31st place in 2018. Japan has the most powerful passport worldwide, followed by Singapore at 2nd, then France, Germany, and South Korea in 3rd place. TripSavvy, an internet travel destination website, has listed St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the Caribbean destinations to be wary of when choosing a destination to visit. The publication, titled A Guide to the Safest and Most Dangerous Caribbean Islands, was published by the site on June 6, 2018, ranked St. Kitts and Nevis number 11 out of the 12 Caribbean islands listed. It advises tourists that visiting St. Kitts and Nevis will be at your own risk. The site notes that the capital city, Bastia, has the highest murder rate of any capital in the world. It also notes that the Twin Island Federation's overall homicide rate is 8th highest across the globe. Thus far, for 2018, the Federation have recorded 23 murders, with the total number of illegal firearms removed from the communities by law enforcement authorities at 29. In related news, Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, addressed the report made by the travel destination site TripSavvy during his press conference held on Tuesday, 2nd October 2018. The Premier indicated that he was not aware of the release, but acknowledged that there is a serious crime situation here in the islands and that it can only be dealt with if each faction of the community plays its part in solving the issue.
We do have a problem, particularly with homicides. We've had a problem for a long time with homicides, and it is something that we have continued to talk about. We have continued to invest in our security forces, invest in our social services, try our best to encourage our people to move away from this life of crime and this life of violence, which really at the end of the day has little, if any, value or reward. I look at some of the youngsters and I talk to many of them all the time and I say, well, why are you engaged in this? They themselves can't tell you why they engage in it. So a lot of it is foolishness about who disrespect who in high school and this kind of nonsense. And I think that all of us need to do our part. Government, certainly. Security forces, certainly. The churches, the schools, and most importantly, the families.
Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier Brantley, who is also Minister of Foreign Affairs in the federal government, who was also asked how would this report impact the tourism industry here in the Federation. He noted that we must focus on the positive factors that are at play in the Federation and not to let the negative actions deter our progress.
I will not seek to say that the story in TripSavvy is a bad story. It clearly portrays us in a negative light. But I think that what I've just read here to you from Four Seasons Resort itself is telling you how bullish they are, how buoyant they're looking forward. So they're clearly not as concerned about what TripSavvy is saying, because they're out there investing considerable sums of money. We're told somewhere in the region of $40 million in Nevis. So clearly they have a confidence in Nevis. In St. Kitts, you have the Park Hyatt that is just open. You have other hotel projects that are open, catering to travelers. So clearly people, again, have confidence. They invest in. So we have to juxtapose all of these, if you will, conflicting views. Because on the one hand, you have a very negative profile and story. On the other hand, you have incredibly positive news. I prefer to focus on the positive while admitting that we have a difficulty. I believe that that difficulty does not and will not define our country nor our island.
Honorable Mark Brantley. Minister of Social Development in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, has expressed his satisfaction with the activities that have been held thus far for the observance of Seniors Month. The two major activities that have been held thus far included a church service at the St. James's Anglican Church and the Seniors March, which was held on Friday, 5th October 2018. The minister explained that the seniors were heavily involved in the march, which saw the seniors marching through the streets of Charlestown to the E.T. Willett Park.
The march showed people that our seniors are persons who can make a contribution to Nevis. They are persons not to be cast aside. They are persons just as able-bodied as some of the younger persons in terms of being as vigorous and enthusiastic in marching through the streets of Charlestown. And it's showing that they are willing to make a contribution to the development of the island.
He also noted that the public has been showing and giving a substantial amount of support towards the elderly.
Persons lined the streets of Charlestown, persons who were waving in support, people were encouraging the seniors, and the show of support that we had from the general public for the march was overwhelming. We actually had persons who also came along with the seniors up to the ETW Park, and as I said, the show of support was extremely overwhelming, and we really want to thank the members of the public for the great show of moral support to the seniors.
Honorable Eric Evelyn. October has been recognized annually as the month of older persons here on Nevis. The theme for this year's celebration is celebrating older human rights champions. Meanwhile, activities are set to continue tomorrow, Friday, 12 October 2018, with a health fair in the observance of the month of older persons. The fair will be held at the Villa Grounds in Charlestown from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Social Development Minister in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, is urging the entire general public to go out and take part in the activity, as it would be beneficial to both the young and the old.
We are encouraging members of the general public to come, not only the seniors, but we are encouraging members of the public to come and be a part of the health fair on Friday. You can get your blood sugar, blood pressure tested. You'll be getting tips in terms of healthy living, healthy eating, and so on. And so it's an occasion for you to come and learn something as well.
Honorable Eric Evelyn. The event is a collaborative effort between the mental health and the health promotion units here on the island. In more national news.
It is with great satisfaction that I can report that as at the end of July 2018, that is the first 7 months of the year, the fiscal operations of the central government resulted in surpluses far in excess of the outturns for the comparative period in 2017.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. Prime Minister Harris was speaking about the country's fiscal operations. Specifically, he mentioned that regarding the nation's recurrent account, overall balance and primary balance, the government has performed well.
These surpluses and recurrent account and the overall balance and primary balance are far in excess of our 2018 budget estimates by 115%, 243%, and 116% respectively, compared then to the situation in 2017, and all critical fiscal account, recurrent, overall, and primary, we have outperformed ourselves and our expectations. Simply put, the fiscal health of the federal government is far better in 2018 than it was in 2017.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. Finally, Minister of Labor, the Honorable Vance Amory, while attending a one-day high-level tripartite meeting on October 1st, supported the need for greater social dialogue in the decision-making process. The meeting was held in Panama and brought together ministers of labor and social partners from the 13 member states under the International Labour Organization ILO Office for the Caribbean. It facilitated discussions by the ministers and other officials from government with representatives of employers and workers throughout the region on the implications of key aspects to the future of work given the specific realities and commonalities of the Caribbean. Senior Minister Amory highlighted the role of regional social dialogue in shaping the future of work in the Caribbean and reminded the meeting of the agreement to have social partners present at various CARICOM meetings to propose a way forward in strengthening social dialogue at the national and regional levels. He also cited the good governance agenda model used in St. Kitts and Nevis, which includes one-on-one consultations, town hall meetings, and large stakeholder conferences to reinforce the need for an open, consultative process. That's our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.bonnyradio.com, or you can check us out on our social media page on Facebook at Bonny Radio and our Bonny Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
Home. It means something different to everyone. It's a place you love, a place as unique as you are, a place where you can be yourselves, a place for life's big surprises, and not to mention the small ones. Moments to cherish, and moments that last a lifetime. It's a place for nurture, and a place where you can grow together. It's home. So whether you're building, purchasing, or renovating, the Bank of Nevis is here to open the door, giving you the confidence to dream and the help you need to get there with a mortgage loan from the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. Out of Haiti, the death toll from the 5.9 magnitude earthquake that struck northwest Haiti over the weekend has risen to 17. Moreover, officials say the number of injured is now around 333. As the French-speaking nation continues assessing the damage, the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States OECS Commission has called on the international community to launch a swift, coordinated and aggressive relief effort to assist the people and government of the country. Speaking from OECS Commission headquarters, OECS Director General Dr. Didicus Jules said the OECS stands in strong solidarity with Haiti and urges a rapid international relief effort to support in particular Port-de-Paix and other regions where hospitals are struggling to cope in the aftermath. Meantime, in addition to offering its condolences, the Caribbean Community CARICOM says it stands ready to offer Haiti assistance within the capabilities to aid in the recovery process. Following the 5.9 magnitude quake last Saturday night, Haiti experienced several aftershocks, including 2 of 5.2 magnitude and another of 4.2 magnitude. Canadian-based firm Parkland Fuel Corporation is set to acquire Barbadian-owned Sol Investment Limited, SIL, acquiring 75% stake in the region's largest independent fuel marketer in a U.S. $1.2 billion deal. The transactions will see Sol, which came close to buying the state-owned oil importer, the Barbados National Terminal Company Limited, acquiring $12.16 million common share in the capital of Parkland. When the deal is closed, the Simpson Group, through its ownership in Sol Limited, will own approximately 9.9% stake in Parkland, Canada's largest and one of North America's fastest-growing independent marketers of fuel and petroleum products and a leading convenience store operator. A statement issued by Parkland said the transaction, which it hopes to complete by the end of the year, was subject to customary third-party consents and regulatory approvals, including approvals of the Toronto Stock Exchange. The Sol operating brands will remain in place, and the Sol business will retain key management and continue to be managed from the Caribbean, Parkland said. Sir Keefe Simpson, founder of Sol Limited, said the transaction was a good move for his company. News from Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has denied allegations that he has a bank account in Florida through which he benefited financially from a massive fake oil fraud at the state-owned Petrotrin refinery as spurious and wholly untrue. Opposition Member of Parliament Dr. Rudal Munilal made the accusations during Tuesday's budget debate when he read from documents he said show that Rowley had benefited from financial transactions conducted through a U.S. account with Vidya Diokising. In a personal explanation in the House of Representations on Tuesday, Rowley said there is absolutely no truth to what Munilal has imputed. I have no bank account in Miami, USA. I was not party to any banking transaction with Dioki Singh or any bank in the world for that matter, Rowley said. He challenged Munilal to supply the documents in question outside of Parliament, although they have in the meantime been widely circulated on social media. Finally, the Jamaica government has divested operations at the Norman Manley International Airport to a Mexican entity which will take charge of running the facility for at least the next quarter of a century. Under a 25-year concession agreement signed earlier this week, GAP will be responsible for improving the airport's land and air operational efficiency and financing and completing a modernization program at an estimated cost of over US $110 million. Additionally, the government will receive a guaranteed percentage of the airport's gross revenues. The entity has the option to extend the arrangements by an additional 5 years. Prime Minister Holness said the transaction represents another successful private-public partnership deal. GAP emerged the preferred of 3 bidders, which included 2 organizations of foreign and local investors. Their selection followed the public opening and evaluation and cabinet subsequent approval in September of the 3 bid submissions received by the Development Bank of Jamaica in July. The transaction value of GAP's bid totaled over US $2 billion. That's it for our regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. One of the strongest storms in recorded history to hit the U.S. has battered northwest Florida, flooding beach towns and snapping trees. Rescue services are waiting for daylight to assess the full impact of Hurricane Michael, which made landfall on Wednesday afternoon as a Category 4 storm with 155 miles per hour winds. 2 people, including a child, were killed by falling debris. Having weakened to a tropical storm, Michael is on its way to the Carolinas. Storm surge warnings are in place between Panama City Beach and Keaton Beach in Florida, and between Ocracoke Inlet and Dock in North Carolina, the U.S. National Hurricane Center says. A U.S. astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut were forced to make an emergency landing after their Russian Soyuz malfunctioned en route to the International Space Station. Shortly after taking off from Kazakhstan, Nick Hague and Alexei Ovchinin reported a problem with the rocket's booster. Here is more in this report.
From the moment of blast-off and for more than 2 minutes, this spaceflight was smooth. Then suddenly came this. And ground controllers announced an accident with the rocket launcher. The commentary in Russia was immediately cut off. But the Soyuz capsule, with 1 American astronaut and 1 Russian on board, was soon hurtling back to Earth. Space officials said the crew inside had survived, but that was only confirmed when they crash-landed and rescue teams scrambled to reach them. The men's condition, despite their dramatic plunge, is said to be good.
Finally, shares are suffering a fresh bout of market jitters as the European markets close for the day. In London, the FTSE 100 share index tumbled 1.9% to end at 7,006 points. France CAC 40 index slid 1.9% to 5,106, while Germany's DAX fell 1.48% to 11,539. U.S. markets have performed better than expected this year, bouncing back after turmoil earlier in the year to set new records over the summer. However, the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates, with the latest hike coming last month, and more increases are likely to come. More in this report.
First of all, concerns about potential trade wars, and of course if we do get even more serious disruptions to international trade flows, it could adversely affect the earnings of many companies. Some have already been affected, indeed, those that use steel and aluminium, for example, which have been affected by these trade measures. And the other concern is rising interest rates in the United States. One of the reasons that matters is that higher interest rates mean that investments other than shares become more attractive to investors, and so one of the things they do is sell their shares in order to get into some of these other potentially more attractive investments.
That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
Everyone likes to get more for their money, and TDC Insurance Company is here to help you do just that. Our new motor insurance package includes everything you and your vehicle will ever need. Rest assured, if you ever have a loss, we will have you on the road in no time. Pay one affordable premium and a payment plan suitable to your needs. Choose TDCIC for your motor insurance, where you'll get more coverage for less. TDCIC, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In cricket, the Leewards Hurricanes were weakened under pressure created by the USA team as the Super 50 Regional Series continued on Wednesday evening. The USA batted first, and disciplined bowling by the Leewards restricted them to 197 all out in 49.3 overs. Summarized scores: USA 197 in 49.3 overs, T.K. Patel 39, M.D. Patel 27, Jacobs 3 for 40, Louis, Cornwall and Hughes 2 wickets each. Leewards 109 in 30.1 overs, Orlando Peters 37 not out, Ken G. Nee 3 for 22, Ketty Patel 2 for 4, USA won by 88 runs. Meanwhile, in local sports, Sports Officer at the Department of Youth and Sports, Kelvin Bramble, on Wednesday, released the 2 youthful teams that will engage each other this coming Sunday, 14th October, at the E.T. Willett Park at 2 p.m. The teams are Australian High Commissioner's team, which includes Bajat Narayan Sharma captain, Patrice Nisbet, Justin Armdon, Saneldo Willett, Malik Wallace, Michael C. Golam, Kimani Wallace, Di Williams, Jaden Carmichael, Annie Freeman, Shaquille Bertie, and Teron Webb. The Nevis Premier's team, Tajari Clark captain, Jelani Manners, Carlon Tuckett, Trishon Francis, Javion Barrett, Akidianto Willett, Guyan Griffin, David Ramnarine, Rian Solomon, Mark C. Golam, Melissa Clark, Divani Maynard, and Bunji Amu. Finally, in tennis, British number 1 Kyle Edmund went through to the quarterfinals of the Shanghai Masters with a victory over Chile's Nicolas Jarry 7-6, 7-5, 6-3. Edmund, 23, ranked 14th in the world, took a tight first set, serving an ace to win the tie-break. Jarry broke 11th seed Edmund's first service game in the second set to go 2-0 up before the Briton took control. Edmund will play 4th seed Alexander Severev in the last 8 after he beat Australia's Alex de Minaur 6-1, 6-4. That's it for sports. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. Another local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weak unstable condition over the Leewards and BVI will persist over these islands and contribute to brief passing showers over these islands mainly tomorrow. Weather tomorrow: partly cloudy to cloudy with a 50% or moderate chance of brief showers. Winds easterly at 6 to 14 knots or 11 to 26 kilometers per hour, becoming east-southeasterly tomorrow. Seas moderate with mainly long period swells of height between 1.5 to 1.8 meters or 5 to 6 feet. Beachgoers should exercise caution along the near shower areas of the islands. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:03 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Thursday, 11th October 2018. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party names all 8 candidates for next general elections. And St. Kitts and Nevis's passport now world's 26th most powerful. Regionally, death toll from Haiti earthquake rises. Internationally, monster storm Michael mauls U.S. southeast. And in sports, Leewards Hurricane loses to USA team in Super 50 regional series. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tammy Reed, wishing you a pleasant evening.